I'm Alan Dale from Gale Force Winds, and I have to tell you, I love being in conversations with people that are involved in industries that have a great deal of success at the moment. And I got to tell you, I'm in Scarborough, Ontario right now, and I'm really looking forward to this next conversation. So why don't you introduce yourself, tell us what you do.
Alan, great to be with you in person. We've been chatting so much. Michael Sangster, I'm the CEO of the National Association of Career Colleges. Honored to be here with you today.
Listen, Michael, we've had a lot of conversations. We've been doing a lot of work with the career colleges here in Canada. Why don't you give us a little snapshot of what the National Association of Career Colleges does?
Yeah, we really appreciate what you're doing because there's not enough work being done telling those stories, letting people know what it is that career colleges do in this country. So the National Association of Career Colleges represents about 580 career colleges from coast to coast to coast. And every single day they're starting new courses and training people to have a new start in their career. So we represent them. We work on communications and government relations and advocacy work, but we also do a lot of work around curriculum development and skills development training for the teams that are running these colleges, because they're out every single day training people to go to work in our economy.
You know, Michael, one thing that I really enjoy about the career colleges is that they respond to industry needs. They're listening to their community partners in a very collaborative way, understanding what the needs are, and then with speed and ease, quickly creating innovative programs to meet those needs. Talk to me about the importance of this collaborative nature.
We use those words quick and agile all the time, and it's because we have these direct close relationships with employers in the community, business councils, boards of trade that are saying we need this. We have employers knocking on front doors of colleges saying I need 12 of these kinds of people and I'm going to need them for 5 years every year. So help me train those people, and they build a curriculum together. Often an instructor will come over and they'll teach them how to be an instructor to work with them. There'll be a practical placement where they work together to make sure that the employee, the students have a skill when they leave that the employer is actually going to need. Right. And the great thing about that process, when you talk about that collaborative process, is when they graduate, there's an employer at the front door. They're often at the graduation ceremony waiting for the employees. They want to hire them and put them to work. And it's incredible to watch that process.
That's pretty amazing, right? You know, the other thing that I really enjoy about the career colleges is that it's not impersonal learning. I mean, they really genuinely care about the students from the very time the student touches the college, and oftentimes well beyond graduation. There's many colleges that will stay with that student throughout their lifetime and they can tap back into. Talk to me about that different model where they genuinely care about the student's success.
Well, you guys are lucky because you're getting, at Gale Force Winds, you're getting a really good cross-section of our country, of meeting our colleges in the way they are. So you're getting that perspective. There's a lot of misconceptions about our sector. That it's about just getting people in, getting their money, and getting them out. That's not what it's about. It is about training these people to get a skill and go to work. Our average student is usually starting in their 30s. And they're not starting because things are great in their life. They're starting because they want to start over. They want a new, fresh start. So they get into a real good connection. I hear talk from our enrollment people across the country all the time about how they allow people not to enroll because they want to get the right program for them, and they'll find them a better program. And that's one of those misconceptions that's out there about our sector. And that's one of the things that I love, is hearing those conversations and being part of those. So I actually wish I was you guys traveling the country meeting all these colleges, because you're seeing it.
Yeah.
We're here in Scarborough today. We're at a graduation ceremony this afternoon for Protégé School here. And it is so much fun to see that connection. And I guarantee you there's an employment officer on their staff that is responsible making sure that that graduate is connected into employers that are looking for the people.
The other thing that I find absolutely fascinating is that the students get theory, but they get a lot of practical knowledge as well as they go through their education journey. But the practical knowledge and the theory comes from instructors that have real world experience. These are not academics only. They're people that have come from industry. They've got a good academic background, but they have solid experience to pass on to these students. Talk to me about the importance of making sure that all works.
And they want to give back. Those instructors actually have had a good career in welding, have had a good career in cybersecurity now, or they're doing something that, and they want to give back. The vast majority of the programs in our colleges come with a practical placement because that's what's mandated by the governments. The other thing that's interesting is often the regulations that we're under mandate that there need to be jobs. You have to prove there's a job need out there for the person when they get trained up before a regulated career college can train them. So that connection, that process they go through to make sure that they're well trained by people who've done the job and have pride in the job. That individual who's training them also understands that if I get this person excited about it, they're going to have a great career and they're going to do well. And I love the stories of ex-employees at Tim Hortons who've now gone on to do, maybe doing logistics and making $100,000 a year, and their life has changed. The best description I've heard of it was one of our board members, Tony Reeder from New Brunswick, who said, regulated career colleges put new branches on family trees. And it took me a moment to think and figure out what he was saying, and he said, we give people the confidence to start over. We give people the confidence to have a family. Maybe have kids, because now they got a career, not a job.
You've used the term regulated career colleges there a number of times. Unpack that for me. What does that mean?
We're heavily regulated. There are some regulations that we'd like to be rid of, but for the most part, we accept it and we embrace the regulations that we operate under as private institutions. We like to use that word regulated because we are, and I don't think the average Canadian thinks we are. Mm-hmm. Occasionally you will hear some bad stories. There are often unregulated colleges that have popped up and done something and disappeared. Right. And we work with governments to make sure that those places are found out and moved away. We're all about trying to increase the standards, increase the quality, and make sure that we have great outcomes for our learners. So we embrace the regulation. We work very closely with the regulators, and they're our partners in many ways. They understand us, and the colleges that embrace that, work well with them, succeed.
You know, the other thing too is every college that I've been to, I've had the great pleasure of talking to community partners. People that exist within the very community that the college exists in, both on government level, community leaders, and industry partners, and they all talk to the vital need of these colleges to be graduating work-ready people. Talk to me about the importance of connecting those dots.
Well, there's no doubt about it, and you just have to go. You were with our friends at Trials yesterday, and you met the Board of Trade, and you meet the Chamber of Commerce, and you meet the employers that are there. That's what's important, is that direct connectivity so that the people when they graduate have a chance to go right back to work, because they've made an investment in themselves. And they may have had some government student aid to help them do it. Maybe they're a veteran who's restarting after moving on from a career serving our nation. It's our responsibility to make sure that the people are lined up behind them, to take care of them, to keep an eye on their mental health. You talked about the classes, about the supports. The class sizes are smaller. I love walking through a college. I was at Academy Canada in the province Newfoundland and Labrador. You might be familiar with.
Yep.
I think that's home originally for you, right?
Yeah.
And watching the way these 12 kids in a room were figuring it out together. And I say kids, students. One was 50 years old. One was 18, and they're all best friends now, and they all walk out of the class together. That leads to great outcomes. That leads to students that are engaged and are then ready to go work. So we talk about that environment of the business associations, the people they need to be around with. I'm going to focus on another point that's kind of auxiliary to that. It's the teamwork these graduates leave these colleges with, that I think because of the small size of the schools and the small size of the classes, they come into employment ready to work even better because they've got this teamwork attitude to them. It wasn't 500 people in a room. It was 12 in a classroom learning how to become a dental office assistant.
Yeah.
You think they don't talk about the challenges they face 6 months later and work with each other and talk to each other and stay in touch? Of course they do.
I'm so glad that you picked up on that teamwork piece, because we see it in every college we go to. These people come together from all walks of life. Yep. All ages, and everything is broken down, and they work effectively together as a team in an academic setting. All that is doing is building a valuable skill for when they walk out the door, because they're going to be put into yet another team, right? And the college gets it right from the very beginning that let's get these folks working together. And sometimes it's complicated and all that, but that's okay, because they're going to face that when they go out.
That's what employers are looking for. People that can dive in and work together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's no doubt about it that the college system is producing career-ready people in a very, very sophisticated way. We see it firsthand, Michael. You should be very proud. You've got a big event coming up. Tell us about that.
Big conference coming up in November 6th to 8th in Toronto. working with Career Colleges Ontario. We're having a joint conference for all of our country. Really looking forward to it. Peter Mansbridge is coming out. We're having a little fun. I don't believe in boring events, so we've brought Sean McCann in, formerly of Great Big Sea. He's going to do a big concert for us, and we've got a concert after the concert with another gentleman performing into the night. So we're going to have a good time, but we've got a lot of great sessions around admissions and recruitment and mental health issues and diversity and online teaching, all the things that our colleges need to spend more time thinking about. And that's one of the things that I love about it, is that they get in a room and they work together too at this conference. And we'll get 200 or 300 people from around the country in a room talking about can I do that better? How can we like to use the word co-opetition. They work together, they share curriculum, they share resources. And while they might be competing for students at times, they're also competing to make sure that the best quality product gets out to the students across the board.
Sure to be a great event, and all of this doesn't happen, Michael, as I'm sure you know, without solid leadership. So thanks for keeping a steady hand on the tiller. We appreciate it.
I'm enjoying the work, but I got to say, I got a great team. We've built a great team over the last couple of years. I've got a couple of stalwarts that have been with the organization longer than that. They just are just doing a great job. But we got some young new people that have come in and are just absolutely doing a great job. And it's interesting to watch them, because they've embraced that same excitement around the career college sector as I have. I didn't go to a career college, and you just got to go to a grad. You just got to go see one of these graduation ceremonies and see 10, 12 family members, and there's no restriction on how many you can bring, and it's just so electric in the room, because it's often the first person who's ever graduated from a post-secondary education institution, and it's exciting to watch.
You know, every single college that we've been to, I talk to them about graduation day, and I watch instructors, I watch alumni, I watch senior administrators, I watch community partners get emotional answering that question, because they understand that lives are being changed here.
Yep. Yeah, it's incredible to watch them, because there's just certain energy and there's a pride. I was at the Willis College one recently in Ottawa, and they were talking to a young gentleman, and his friend was there, and they got talking. He goes, I wasn't going to do this. He signed up for it. I said, I'll do it with you too. And now they're both headed off into careers in cybersecurity. The guy says, I probably doubled my income. I wouldn't have the courage to go do this. I now have a career, not a job. And both of them were hired on day one, ready to go to work. And that's the beauty of that placement. So we talk about the graduation, but that placement, they make a connection to an employer who's going to hire them. And if they're good at what they do, the employers hire them.
Yeah. It's a wonderful thing to see play out. Michael, thanks very much for being in the conversation. And this is what success looks like. These folks are making our community stronger, making our provinces better, and making our country a global leader. Thanks very much.
Well, let me finish by thanking you guys, because you and Jerry have done an awesome job of storytelling across the country. And we're looking forward to keeping this going. You guys are going to be at our conference in the fall. Recording many of our leaders there too. But what you're doing is helping get rid of some of those misconceptions out there about our sector too. So thank you to both of you.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.